Hey, what's up, guys? It's time for the back nine over at Scrapyard with Andrew and David. Hope that you guys enjoyed the last video. I like doing front nine and back nine, especially when I play with multiple people, because it makes it a little bit easier for you guys to consume. What is that, a hair on me? What is that? Either way, I hope that you guys enjoyed the last episode. Let's go ahead and jump into this one. If you guys are new here, thank you so much for hanging out. I'd love it if you guys would subscribe and comment down below. I try and respond to all the comments if I can, and just kind of build up a super cool community here. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. Jumping into the back nine here over at Scrapyard, y'all. Hole number 10. I threw this off a little bit too far to the right, but the kick to the left honestly wasn't too shabby. I'm trying to do a hyzer flip there, and I need to just hug the left side a little bit more. Andrew's going to come through with a really, really good flex forehand on this hole that ends up down to the right there. A really good line, definitely a super solid shot right there. And then David's coming through to try and do the same thing, but his disc was just a little bit too overstable, maybe gave it a little bit too much air. But he's going to be able to flick out here and get right up there towards the basket, so not a bad spot to be. And then for me, just a little Anheuser shot out from the left side, fading down over to the basket. Really, really happy with that one, actually. I love making those types of shots. They're super fun. Andrew going for the birdie here. Really, really good bid. Just a little bit too high there. We all have made those putts before. Or we all have hit the band before. Come on now, be honest with yourself. So I'm going to pick up a par there, as well as the other guys picking up their pars too. And then right here, I tend to hit the trees on the right, so I threw this core out on a little bit more of a hyzer, and I should have just thrown it straight. So yeah, we end up down the fairway though on the left, which I'm happy with. Andrew going to be tagging this tree right here, going off into the trees on the right, which is what I normally do. So thankfully I avoided that. And then David coming in here, and he's actually going to hit this one. And we all have felt those emotions before. He's going to throw a roller out of here, which is actually a really good idea. A little bit too overstable though. And so it comes back into the woods. And then Andrew's got a really nice bid here with that flex forehand. And then David going to be able to throw out here a little bit too much angle on it, so it rolls off into the woods. And then I actually had a pretty good line there through the woods I had to hit that was about maybe 4 feet wide or something, so I was able to hit that and get that out there for saving par. And nice putt right there from David, saving himself a stroke. I think what did he shoot? A one, was that a 3 that he got? Yeah. I'm not even sure. I think both of them took 4s on this because of where they hit the trees. I could have missed something there. But I was able to get the par, which honestly, I'm happy with the par on this hole. I've gotten birdie a couple times, but, you know, it is what it is. So here we go. Mando on the right. Got to throw a turnover. Love this hole. Took a 4 on this one in the Clash when pretty much every time I played, I'd take a 2. So, yeah, able to get that line down. And then Andrew throwing up and tagging a tree or a branch right off there and dropping straight down instead of being able to finish this. This was a ridiculous shot by Andrew, hugging the trees. Like, he was like 2 inches. Like, I literally like had an outburst. I was like, whoa, because I was so surprised. But it was a really, really good shot, about 2 inches off those trees, getting himself to a solid spot. Nice scramble right there by David, getting himself up there. And then there we go with a 2 for me, which I'm happy with, especially after that freaking 5 that I had earlier on hole 8, I believe it is. And then Andrew's going to tap his in. David, sadly enough, 1 inch below the basket. We've all been there as well before. That's tough. It's always tough when that happens, taking a 4. I mean, that's what I did during the Clash. I was definitely annoyed by it. Throwing my judge out here and then blocking the camera because, you know, it's not like I do YouTube for a living or anything. Really good shot there by me, though. I was happy with that one. And then Andrew hitting a tree on the left, dropping down to the left as well. You'll see his lie in just a second. I moved the camera after those because I realized I was kind of blocking us there. And then David with a solid shot, but nicking a tree and going right. If he had been a couple inches to the left and made it left, that would have been solid. Really good idea here by Andrew, throwing it
the
up
idea was there.
and trying to have it pan out, but he did hit a tree on the right side of the fairway. But he's able to throw up here and get it into an okay location, probably edge of circle there. And then David throwing out, tagging another tree. This course can be brutal, man, once you get off the fairway. I'm just going to throw my Chameleon Judge and have it settle down by the basket on the right side. Definitely happy with that. And then David throwing up here with this approach, which is dangerous on this green because what does it do? It rolls away. Very, very dangerous green there, you can see. Andrew, again, probably, I would guess, maybe 35, 40 out. And then just a solid putt. Trusting it, not being afraid of it going past the basket. Really, really nice putt there. That was big. And then I'm able to save my par, which I'm always happy with on this hole, honestly. Just because it's such a tight tunnel. It's really, really hard to get a birdie on this one. I've never gotten a birdie on this hole. You really have to hit your line and get down there. Here's another one that's always fun. Tagging that tree, going left, and then right down to the fairway. Andrew coming through and tagging a tree on the left, and honestly, like, not the worst place to be after hitting a tree. All of us have been off to these woods on the left and right, and it can very quickly become a bogey at least. Andrew or David ripping this one. He actually goes past the basket on the right side, which was amazing. Like, really, really good shot right there. And then Andrew's going to be able to get up down the fairway, and then I throw my Sampo here, and I actually turn it over just a little bit too much. As you can see, right out of the hand, I knew that it was turned over too much. Dropping probably about 25 to 30 out of the basket. And then Andrew giving it a good run with this sidearm that he has there. And then you can see David here. I think there was a branch in his way or something, but pretty deep back there in the trees. And then, again, I'm probably at about circle's edge here, maybe a little bit inside. And able to save myself there from that honestly bad scramble. I wish I could have been a lot closer, but we were able to save it, so that's always good. Now, this hole is pretty frustrating for me most of the time. I threw a light Sampo there. It stood up just a little bit, made it off to the right side, which is always good. And then David throwing straight down the middle, tagging a tree on the left and coming right. Very, very tight fairway here. For those of you that play this, you know when you hit it, it feels good. And when you miss it, it does not feel good at all. Andrew throwing out here and going pretty far to the right side of the fairway. The shot on that hole is, I've done a flex forehand before and parked it, which is always good. Yeah. Or, which is why I tried to throw the Sampo there. Also because if you can get a kind of hyzer flip up, then it's really, really good. So just playing it safe there because there is a ridge here. During the clash, I tried to make that putt and went past. Didn't end up making the other putt, so it wasn't the worst thing. But you can see right here, Andrew pops up and rolls off, but he actually ends up just laying against that wood over there that you guys can see. And then another missed putt by David. He was struggling to kind of get it dialed in. You know, we've all been there before. His putts were super nose down, which is a good thing. I feel like mine can be nose down a lot of times too. He just needed to, today at least, throw it maybe a foot higher on his release, and I think he would have been in a good spot for a lot of those putts. Throwing my World here, and actually really solid shot, but I ended up being a little bit long. Generally, I like to throw it lower so that it can skip. And then Andrew with a pretty good shot there, hitting a tree. And then David throwing out here and tagging that little one. He needed about 2 feet to the left, and that would have been solid because, again, this hole, if you can get a good skip and air it out, you're in a really good spot. So David throwing to get out of the woods there. Andrew looking for, once again, this same shot that he's thrown lots of times this round, which is such a fun, like, pretty-looking shot. Giving it a solid bid there. And then David throwing from right here, and I'm actually off in the woods. You can see my disc right there to the right behind him, throwing from there. So I went a little bit long, trying to get a little Anheuser putt there. Probably should have thrown the Ruby now that I look at it. And I think that Andrew and I are tied right now. And then David is, I don't know what he's at. He might be at like +5 or something like that. He had a tough round. I have definitely had those out here too. So throwing a flex forehand here with the World, threw it way too low. You can see that roll off to the right side. Not a good shot by me at all. This hole ends up causing some serious problems for me. Andrew coming through with literally a beautiful sidearm. And it actually looks like it nicked a tree or something right there. I'm not too sure what happened, but I mean, he was long. You'll see in just a second where he was at. And then David throwing, cutting it off just a little bit too much right there. Tries throwing this Anheuser, and both of us said, man, he should have thrown that 30 feet higher in the air, but that's always a little bit intimidating. So I'm trying to get through these woods here, and I hit a tree and kick deeper into the woods, which is not good at all. Now, David, solid shot here, finding the gap through the trees. Obviously, I can't film that, but yeah. So I try and throw again, hit a tree 20 feet in front of me, drop down, and this is now turning into a very, very bad hole. I just walk up to this one, and I'm like, you know what, fine. And I just throw a tomahawk there and actually freaking almost park the hole. I'm just behind a tree. So you can see Andrew, I feel like he had to have hit something because he ended up down to the left there. But, I mean, like, solid shot. Anybody would take that any day on this hole. I was just expecting it to kind of be off to the right just a little bit more. So you can see my shot right there through the woods. For those of you that have played this hole, that's an unbelievable shot from in the woods there. It just took me too freaking long to get out of there. So I'm going for an Anheuser putt here, seeing if we can get it into the basket. I thought it was in there, started taking a step forward. You got to be kidding me. And taking myself a double bogey on this one. So I'm at +3 now. Andrew's at +1. I believe that's what it is. And then throwing right off here. Okay, shot. A little bit high for this hole. Kicks out and just ends up in the middle of the fairway. So easy par there for that one. And then David is throwing his little bit of a flex. Not enough. He needed about 5 more feet flex to the left, but still made it through. No trees hit. And then what do? Oh, I hit this tree right here. That's my Sheriff that I parked the other day on this hole. And I say right there that I broke that disc in very, very quickly. It's more of an understable driver, and it's broken in now, so I can't use that for that shot. Right here, you couldn't even really see anything. That was me just trying to get out of those woods. Andrew throwing up here, actually tagging the chains, which would have had him finish it even, which would have been amazing. So he's going to finish at +1, and I am, sadly enough, after these 2 holes, y'all, go from tied to being +3 or over 3 right there. So 2 holes, man, those can tear you up like that very, very easily. But we're going to tap out here and finish the round, guys. I think David said he was +10. I was +4. Andrew was +1. And we're just going to leave it at that. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope that y'all really enjoyed the coverage of that round. It was super fun for us to go out there. Definitely going to try and play with more people more because you guys have been asking for that for a while, to just see me play with other people instead of just myself. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. And, again, make sure you subscribe, turn notifications on so that you guys don't miss any of my videos. And I'll see you on the next one.